Hey guys, a couple days ago I put out a video talking about buying used equipment, and I purchased some stuff that worked and some stuff that didn't. Bought a couple radios of the same brand, the same type of radio that I just wanted so bad, and unfortunately both of them that I got didn't work. When they out of the box per se, used off of eBay, and those were Ten Tec Scout 555 radios. So I had two of them. One of them I knew wouldn't work. I bought it as is, and I bought it as is just to get the module with the modules for other bands that go along with it. So with this thing here, there's a band module for each band that just slides in. This being the 80 meter module. So I saw one for sale that had modules with it, which was 40, 20, 15, and 10 meters. And it was pretty much, it said as is, and a pretty good price. So, and the prices of those modules are pretty crazy. So one of them, which is actually this one, I knew was kind of a risk as is, probably didn't work. The other one I bought, the seller said that, hey, it works, it receives really well. Well, I couldn't get it to transmit. Well, thanks to some resources online and me trying, giving a little effort, I got my other one up running, and it is awesome. I'm going to show you how I did it and tell you all about the radio. Stick around. The Ten Tec Scout 555. Pretty cool little radio. It's 50 watts, and it was made in America, made in the United States in Tennessee by Ten Tec. It was originally it's made in the early 90s, and it made a run through the turn of the century, or should we say the turn of the millennium by Ten Tec, a very popular U.S. builder. Now, Ten Tec is somewhat not around. Someone has purchased the assets and has produced some Ten Tec products, but they're not in Tennessee anymore. They've moved to Ohio and really aren't the company they were when they produced these Scouts. Actually the same radio, they built the Argo 556, which was a 10 watt SSB radio. And I really, from what I like to do, portable, kind of not really QRP, but not really big power either, kind of low power. I've always had my eyes on this radio, and when it was made kind of like with what I like with my Zyga G90. It was an affordable portable rig. The form and just the size of it, it's almost like a CB radio, almost the same thing, and really cool radio. And I really have wanted one for a long, long time, and own two, and now I own one that actually works. And I want to tell you, here's what happened. When I first got the one that I actually fixed, when I got both of these, I powered them up, cut them on, and they would both receive okay. But right when I hit the mic, the power would just go all the way and drop and die. So tinkered around with it and finally figured out, you know what, I let it go. And I've been sitting on them now for almost 2 years. And I did this video the other day about used equipment, and I pulled them out to show them in the video. And I said, you know what? Let me make some context here. I went online and found somebody that repaired them and emailed them. And he said, yeah, I can do it. It might take a while. It's I've got a little bit of a backup, but we'll see what we can do. And if you send it to us, and he gave me his price. And he starts talking about the finals. I'm like, you know what? I wonder if these are really, if it's the finals are burnt, or does it need a capacitor, like recapping or whatever? I really wonder what's going on. So there's a couple other resources. One of them, just an amazing website. It's from, I can't even begin to tell you all the great information on this site. It's the Handyman's Guide to the Ten Tec Scout 555. It's by Paul Harden, NA5N. And what I really like about Paul and the site, and he talks about repairing these things, is that he is just puts out some great handmade drawings. Me with over 40 some years as a design engineer that started on the board as a draftsman myself, I looked at these drawings. I was like, wow, this is just amazing. So it's pretty cool. Some other resources I found actually on the Internet Archive for these radios. The old manual was still there, and I went and found that, the operating manual. I could go through that. I found that quite a while back. But getting back to Paul, NA5N, Paul's his stuff and whatever, I looked through it. So I opened up and went all through my Ten Tec Scout, the one I saved. I was kind of looking to see if anything was burnt. Did it look like the finals were burnt, whatever? Everything looked good. So I kind of cleaned it up a little bit. Cleaned out the area where you put the module. I got this area in here all cleaned out, spiffed up, looking good. Put it on, powered it up again, hit the mic, boom, it died. I'm like, man, what is going on here? Well, these things have on them, they have a nice little, for tuning, for if you're operating a tuner, you hit tune on this thing, and it puts out a tone basically at 5 watts. Well, as I did that, I watched the meter, and it would go right to 5 watts, the meter itself. I'm like, okay, it can't be the finals, and it can't need capacitors if it'll put a solid 5 watts out to tune, and it stayed there. I even hooked up to my regular antenna. I got a little Texan SSB receiver and put it on the frequency. You know, I'm outside and did it, and boom, I could hear it on my radio. So, okay, this thing wants to transmit. So going back through it, I looked at what Paul had in there, and I'm looking through everything, and there, lo and behold, right there in front of me on that thing, it said, it was just a pointing, I don't know what I was thinking. The simplest fix I could ever imagine with this thing was simply turning a screw. It was just an RF adjustment on it that was on it. And what's really crazy is on the bottom, I thought I was going to pull the board off. Why I didn't look at it a long time ago. RF power. You put the screwdriver right in there to do it. So what I did was I got a dummy load and a power meter, and I hooked it up, keyed the mic, put the screwdriver in, and started turning it. And lo and behold, as I was talking, the meter would rise. So I tweaked and tweaked and tweaked and got this thing, and it pushed a full 50 watts. And I'm like, oh my God, it was that easy. I think whoever owned this must have thought they were turning up the power when they turned it all the way down to 0. And I'm kind of embarrassed myself that I didn't think about this 2 years ago and look at it and really look hard at the bottom of this thing to see that. But a lesson learned for some people too. When I was a kid, I would break open and crack open everything and start turning screws. I think that might have been what happened to it. But hey, did that, and on the dummy load and with the power meter, I was getting 50 watts, and I was like, huh. So I plugged it in, and I put in the 20 meter band module, and looked on the parks on the air and started going through people here. It was the afternoon, and I was getting results like this.
Hello, Virginia. Well, you're doing a good job here into the park. You're 5 and 9 plus.
So as you can imagine now, I was stoked. I finally had that radio working, and I wanted it. I wanted this radio for so long. And I was like, I could not believe how easy it was to bring it back to life. So if you got a Ten Tec Scout or an Argo 556 and you bought it used and it's got a problem with it, I would look there first. I don't know why I didn't, but it worked, and it worked well. So what I did now, the next day I got up, I really, that afternoon, I got on every band. I had to do it. I did, 80, 40, and then I'd already been on the 20 meter band. I went to 15 meters and 10, and everything worked. It worked perfect. So the next morning I got up, and wow, early in the morning, got on, and my first DX QSO on this radio was one I'll never, ever, ever forget. From here in Norfolk, Virginia, on the Atlantic coast of the USA, I had a really, really, really awesome and incredible QSO with 50 watts and my compromised vertical outside, and man, it is a compromise. I had that QSO to New Zealand. And what's really cool was the guy on the other end, the operator in New Zealand, it was kind of blowing his mind that I was here with a compromised vertical at just 50 watts and making this thing. And he was just praising the sound and the audio quality in it. So I'm going to run the video of that QSO at the end here. And it's got a lot of noise in it. It was morning. Band was up and down. It was a noisy band and what have you. But I'm going to finish this video off so you can see my Ten Tec Scout 555 in action and how excited I am to be using it. And this is one of those memorable contacts I'll never forget. And when I plugged this radio in this morning and got on, and you'll see just the operator on the other end, how he was pretty shocked too, and was really telling me how good I sound. So I know a lot of people, I play a video of my operations when the noise is loud, and there's actually some people say, oh, it makes my ears bleed. So if you don't want to watch it, that's cool. Your ears won't bleed. But if you really want to see how cool this QSO was and how excited I am with this radio now, which you will see me out portable with in the future, then stick around and check this out.
So are you just running 40 watts in a vertical?
QSL 50 watts in a vertical. That's all I'm running.
Well, you're 5 and 4, you're 40 watts in a vertical. Wow, that is incredible. Yeah, well, I would be complaining for the company. That's amazing. So you've got to be really heavy. And it feels terrific too. It's like, well, that's the video there. You must be really pleased back to you.
Oh, that's great news. Great news. I wanted to, like I said, I just brought this radio back to life. It's about a 30-year-old radio, an old retro radio. So it's so good to know that the audio sounds good that far away as well, too, there. Thank you.
That's the case, isn't it? The distance, the propagation. You've got 40 watts on a vehicle and you're 5 and 4 into New Zealand. That's just crazy. That is. It really is 100% copy on the audio. And you've got me 5 and 4 also, and I'm running a Kilo 10 2000 and Kilo 10 running anywhere between 5 and 700 watts. Is a 5 element 5 and or 3, 4, 5 elements here on 20 metres. So, you're doing, like I say, an amazing job. That's on that, and you can be really pleased with it. You don't need heaps of power to work the middle here, and all audio. So you've got good audio, and you can be fine with one thing. Oh, that's great news. Thank you so much. I really do. That's good news. I'm very happy with what's going on here. Although that antenna of yours is probably doing the heavy lifting, and that's really why we're having this QSO. It sounds like a wonderful antenna. Anyway, thanks so much for taking my call. I'll let you take some others and get out of the way here. And this has been a wonderful, wonderful QSO for me this morning and this evening for you. ZL3 X-Ray Zulu, Kilo 4 Oscar Golf Oscar. All the best in 73, my friend. You come up to 5 and 6 on that last robot. 5 and 6. I'm not just saying it. I really want to radio, that's for sure. 73 wants a Kilo 4 Golf Oscar, Zulu or 73 X-Ray Zulu.
73.